Oh man, welcome back. We are here, Court
Yes,
and
sir.
Culture, Khalil, Jeremy. Man, before we get started, how's everything going, man?
What's the word, Big Bird?
Man, ain't much, can't call it.
Another day, another dollar?
75 cents at taxes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How we feeling, family? How we feeling? Welcome aboard.
Man, feeling pretty good. Y'all know we here in the show. Another day, another dollar, as we mentioned.
75 cents after taxes. You already know that's the motto. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Obviously, help push this up in the algorithm. We appreciate your support.
Big facts, man. So, I'll go straight right into it. A lot got to go over.
What we got?
A lot we got to do.
What we got,
We
man?
got Jeremy Sohan, he signed to the Knicks.
Oh, I thought you were going to start at the bottom of the list. I saw something about Epstein, bro.
Oh, we want to start. We want to do a reverse. You know what? Let's switch it up.
Man,
Let's
bro,
switch it up. Let's switch it up. We don't want to. They don't want to
get that guy.
They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about the
line.
Knicks right now. We save that for later. We'll save that for later. So yeah, man, the Epstein files, man. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of names obviously being dropped.
Yo, they named everybody.
A lot of people named.
Like,
Allegedly.
No, I started looking up. I was looking for like my grandfather and stuff.
Lord have mercy.
No, I'm serious. Like this guy knew everybody. How the hell? Like what?
You know, the thing about him, I know we were talking about this earlier, and I one of the things I think I was thinking of is that he was connected because he was just that guy that just knew how to be, I guess, for lack of better words, well-versed in every area he was in. I think we were talking, he wasn't that, like, any, like, highly educated kind of guy. He was just,
wasn't. He didn't have a master's degree.
I guess we consider like a average Joe Schmo kind of guy, or below average. I don't know what you guys want to call it.
We would say mid-level IQ. Like,
yeah,
he's not Bill Gates. He shouldn't be hanging out with Bill Gates.
So yeah, it is a little disturbing, some of the people that he's found himself associated with, allegedly, and the people that have been confirmed. I think what's crazy is that he's touched all parts of the world. Whether it's been
Saudi Arabia,
not even. I shouldn't say the world, but all kinds of work that you do. Whether you're seeing someone that's a celebrity that's involved in it, or if it's someone in the sports industry, like he's touched every industry.
President.
He's got his hand in every
presidents.
pot. Yeah, dude.
All of them, and it's not even Donald Trump only. Like you go back to like Bush. Like you go back to.
And that's the ones that we haven't been confirmed yet through the media, I guess you can say. There's probably a shit ton of other names on that list, but
there's 3 million pages.
I think what's depressing about it too, depressing, however you guys feel about it, I think what's interesting, depressing, emotional outbursts you have on it is that some of the names that are being released are people that we probably are big names, you probably know of, either actors, celebrities, rappers.
Can't avoid those names.
Like,
in one of them, they even said Pusha T.
Damn.
They said Pusha T and Jay-Z were together in one situation where Pusha T was considered the handler. So they said in 2005, Jeffrey Epstein met with Pusha T at some point, and they called him the handler. And that would make sense because Pusha T could have been a drug dealer in 2006, but he's not Pusha T in 2006. He's not a celebrity yet. He's a no-name. No one knows who he is. So for them to say he was part of that room, and like, it's such an iffy thing that just came out because you don't know what's wrong and what's not. Like in that situation, it's like Pusha T wasn't a kid. He was like maybe 19, 20 years old. So yeah, he could have been selling drugs, but he's not going to be selling drugs to a Jeffrey Epstein. Like that's not going to be the guy. But then they do have some
small worlds, man. Small worlds cross paths sometimes, you know?
Right,
you know how it is.
And then they have some good evidence on the Bill Gates or like the Elon Musk in particular, where Elon Musk has emails being a thirst bucket, asking Jeffrey Epstein, when's the next biggest party you're throwing?
So look, to make sure for the people that maybe not have knowledge, and for me too, because I haven't, if y'all like me, some of y'all maybe y'all not, I haven't really been reading into full detail with the Epstein files. My question about it, are the names that are being brought up, are these people that are known associates in the sense that like they've done business with him? Like, on the side, like for example, Bill Gates bought drugs from him, for example.
Yeah.
Was that like something that was known? Okay, they bought drugs, so that's how they associate it, or are these associates in the sense of what's going on with the major thing with Epstein?
He went a step further because he was logged in the private jets going to the private island.
Okay.
Where they did the whole
that's the files. Okay,
things.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Forgive me for the
lost
ignorance,
files.
but you know, a lot.
Yes.
I hear
so
stuff with that.
Some
That's
people,
wild.
yes. To answer your question, some people on the list. We don't have logs for them flying to the island, so they may have used Jeffrey Epstein for a social connection.
Okay.
So like maybe like a mayor from another state, probably from like Arkansas, used Jeffrey Epstein because he was politically involved. He knew
Okay.
some president, and they would like use his association, but didn't know what he was doing behind the scenes. So yes, it is true that there are some people that kind of like just by association got involved into this, but we could weave those people out. I think the bigger question is, where's the video evidence? There was apparently a lot of recordings and things like that, not of Jeffrey Epstein killing himself in a jail, which should have been obviously recorded. Let's not even talk about the time lapse there. Like there's time lapse missing from the moment Jeffrey Epstein was allegedly killed to the moment of when security guards came in, and it's like that time lapse of moment can give anybody enough time for you to exit the building. We're talking 2-3 minutes. That's enough time for you to exit the building if it's corroborated by law enforcement.
Yeah, but you know that gets you into, I don't want to say the weeds, but yeah, it gets you into the weeds there because now you got to figure that time lapse. You know who was involved. If it was someone that was corroborated, it was probably someone obviously within the jail.
You know what they did? They blamed it on the cameras. We can't control the technology. The technology just had a time lapse.
But in this, honestly, I think we're in this digital world now where like when it comes to technology going out for that long of a time period, that's when we got to start figuring it's not a technology issue. It's more of a user error. So obviously someone in the building either knew what was going on, was part of it, cut the footage, crop the footage. I mean, we work in this technological world where there's some people that have a job that can do something to a world that you probably don't even know, erase files and probably erase the erased files. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but that is the other side of the coin if you kind of look at it. There's so many things that could have partake with that.
It's a crazy situation, bro. Again, like I said, it's 3 million documents. I'm not gonna be able to go through all that.
3 million documents. Y'all ready to be here for a couple of days with us?
Yeah, the weeks, bro. By the time you go through it, you'll forget. Like it's crazy. Your brain can't just remember all of that. You'll forget your fucking brother's name by the time you go through 3 million.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I really haven't, I guess, dived too much into it or like read into it. And I'm sure because I'm speaking of it now, it's probably gonna pop up on my feed and shit, which it has already, which is the thing, because that's why I say it's touched so many different parts of not just the world, but different parts of like the workforce, the television, whether it's sports, entertainment, anything. He's touched every part. He's everywhere. So it's hard not to see it at this point, which is why we had it in here to talk about. But it is kind of alarming because it's nationwide, it's worldwide at this point. Like it's scary because you figure you go into a private island. Now you figure, all right, well, if you're flying there, with the travel path had to be by somebody.
Well, you're there hanging out on a plane with Chris Rock and Will Smith, and you're not gonna ask. You're seeing all these high celebrity names going on the same plane.
But what I'm thinking is too is like
it's a pedo bus.
This island that you're going to, like, to understand to fly a plane, you can't just fly a plane into the air unless you're doing
These guys are used to it. They're rich. They're like it's like a bus.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at the money thing. I'm getting a little more to the deeper cause of it. Is that you got your celebrities that are involved with it, and maybe even some rappers, maybe even some political people in there involved as well. But what I'm talking about is more so like now where could be even, dare I say it, government officials into it too, because you're flying a plane. Who's logging this plane? How is no one seeing that this plane is going to this island? And why is this plane going to this island so often? What's going on at this island?
So and we could move forward from.
I mean, they're always in everyone's business, so it's shocking something like this goes on.
But you brought up a good point, and actually from there we can pivot off the Jeffrey Epstein thing because we can go down so much rabbit holes.
We can get down there for sure.
The government called it a mystery box. So Jeffrey Epstein's situation every president that's ever seen
That's
this
that's
situation.
a Pandora's box.
That's what they called it, a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And they said you don't want to open it because you don't know what's there. And after you open it, you can't close
Oh
it.
yeah, you can't close it. It's
So-
yeah.
so that's-
It's like it's like these TV shows out there. Like you know, if you hiding some shit and you open up that can of worms, like
Yeah.
you don't know what path you might lead down. Or what,
So that
what
that
might
was
come up.
That was the reason to explain as to why no one looked into Jeffrey Epstein prior and allow him to get away.
That's probably why it's taking
and
so
create so
long.
much momentum. He
It's probably
created a
one.
lot
It's
of
probably one of
momentum.
those things where every time they see a name or whatever, they're just like, oh shit, this name. All right, who's this person? All right, what did they do? All right, let's investigate, but like low key investigate, because if they find out we're investigating this person, everyone's gonna know we're investigating this person, and if they do that, now they got to get looked at like, oh, now that person could sue in a sense, because now I got the government looking at me and I'm not really doing anything, but because of my name, now it looks like all the feds are coming at me. Now they must think I'm involved. You know how it is with the media. You take a picture of someone that's a criminal, and next talking to a cop, you show that to certain people.
Yeah,
You know, a
exactly.
picture speaks
Criminal by
1,000
association.
words.
Yeah, criminal by association.
You know what I'm saying? So they
yeah.
could go both ways. You show them to the criminals people. Criminal could be like, yo, you talking to the cops? What's good?
Yeah, no.
You show it to the cops, show it.
That was the other
What's
thing.
going on?
He was part of.
Is he a CI? What we doing?
Yeah, he was part of a CI thing. It's so crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We can dive into and break down. It needs its own episode.
So the next big thing then, so we're gonna move in, because this is something that's been going on worldwide, I would think you
What we
say.
got?
Bad Bunny concert getting still backlash, man.
Oh, they're getting some backlash.
They
on that.
still
What's going
ta-
on? What happened?
Man, long story short, you guys all know Bad Bunny performed in the halftime Super Bowl, a halftime show for Super Bowl, which lasted anywhere, I think it was like 15 minutes, 32 seconds, I think I looked up, because I thought this was crazy that it was so viral that after the fact, even before the fact, that we were so upset that we were having someone perform in a halftime show and they were going to be speaking primarily Spanish. Now, I did read up on it. Apparently, when the NFL reached out to Bad Bunny, they did say part of the contract, hey, we do want you to perform, but you know, we want you to say some of your lyrics in English. And I'm gonna get to that. I know I don't speak Spanish, so I can understand.
No, he can speak English though. But
Yes,
it's
he
just,
can.
But it's just, how do I make a
How
song
do I
that I've
translate?
already? I
Yeah,
just
because
made it
you can't do that. It's
Yeah.
like, for example, you know, in reggae, you can't translate those words into English because
Yeah.
it's not gonna sound the same.
Exactly.
So that's it, probably exactly wrong. He's like, hey man, like I'm more than happy to perform. Bad Bunny's saying this. I'm more than happy to perform. I'm honored, but to be, with all due respect, like I'm gonna speak my natural language, which is gonna be Spanish, and to do anything else would be a disservice to myself.
You know what? They probably did it to wipe their hands. So they probably said, "Look, we told him, and he didn't listen to us. He did what he wanted to."
Well, that's why that it's not all wash hands, because it's because you know I don't,
Because the NFL's not the one getting the backlash, is
in
it?
the big.
Or
They
is-
are. They
or
actually
is
are.
it-
They're in it too. So here's why. So in the beginning, I can't remember. In the beginning, it seemed like they were fully, you know, all right, Bad Bunny. They announced it. They were all involved. It seemed like it. But then they were getting backlash from the old head NFL fans that were like, oh, how can we do this? It's not American. Like, it's not English. Why would we do that? We've had this person, this person. Why would we not get Kid Rock? Why would we not get? So you know, you had people that would not afford it. And along the way up until the Super Bowl came, you know, finally when it started, they were all for it. Like I would say maybe a month, 2-3 months before, they supported this whole, because I guess it became so viral with people that hated it so much. NFL finally came up and said, hey, like, yo, I think Roger Goodell, I believe his name is.
Oh, okay,
He came out
okay,
and was
so
like,
they
yo,
backed
like
it.
we're supporting
They
of this.
backed
Like,
it, they backed
you
it,
know,
okay.
one of the things they mentioned is that we're
they
trying to
gotta
go
take the heat.
we're trying to go worldwide. You know, they obviously have games they play internationally. They go in different countries where they actually play this game.
They're trying to get into soccer,
so-
like soccer, yeah.
They're trying to go. They're trying to bring in more more
Yeah,
money. That's what it is. So what they did was they brought in Bad Bunny, which I'm sure was, whether it be a business related transaction doing this, whatever the case may be, both sides got money out of it. Bad Bunny got publicity because he didn't do it for the money. He mentioned he did it because he knew that the halftime show is one of the most viewed.
He was trying to the publicity towards the message that he was trying to put out of
Exactly.
the immigrants getting
It-
kicked out,
exactly.
and
So-
how they were part of the culture of the.
So it worked out for him because he was able to do that, which
Which
was
is
why it got
message.
backlash.
Yeah.
And then it worked out for the NFL because now they were able to, on a public stage, a national stage, or maybe even global stage, I could say, they were able to now show a show that was in full Spanish, which we can say I wouldn't say 50% of the population, 'cause that's crazy.
I want to
but
say Spanish
a
is a
good,
primary language in the United States.
not just the United States.
Like,
I wouldn't say
we can
primary,
have a dual
but
language. We can have a dual.
we could be certified as a dual
I
language
mean,
state.
because when you look at the amount of population
country.
of Spanish people, I think when you look at it, it covers a really
It
wide
does. It's
range.
a large. It's
Like,
any place you go now. It's like almost standard for you to have speak English and Spanish.
To hell go those times where you're like, yo, this is America. You got to learn English. No. It's a privilege for us to teach you Spanish now, so you can have a secondary language. You know what I mean? Like so to me,
Honestly, and it's not,
every language,
and
like
it's
every
not
culture.
Even, I was just about to say
Every
that. Yeah, it's not
culture.
even just Spanish either. I mean, we're in this little side.
not
We're
about- yeah, it's
we're in
not
this
about-
country where we're united. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we're land of the free. We're trying to bring all these cultures together, but then it's like we try to bring all the cultures together, and then when these cultures try to do their own thing to their culture, it's like no, you can't do that.
I think you're being like patriotic for what, and to what extent? Like it goes back to you're comparing this to the Kaepernick situation and kneel down with the flag up. Like it's like yo, don't separate the two. Separate the two. Like this is not a stance against you. This is not a stance against the fans.
Yeah, it's nothing against the fans.
This has a stance against the government and the the current
things that are going on around the world that people are being blind to.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's what it is, and he got so much backlash from it. I saw some guy on, I don't know who he was. It just popped up on my social media. This guy was talking on the news about how it's a disgrace. The NFL should be ashamed to have something like this. Fans were even saying this is crazy because they even had another halftime show. They had the Bad Bunny show, which was I guess you could say the primary, the one that was actually televised from the game to the halftime show, and then they actually had another halftime show because there was so much outrage, I guess. That was specifically, I think Kid Rock was performing.
But who stayed on the channel? What halftime show was on the channel?
That's the problem. Was obviously the halftime show for Bad Bunny was way up here.
That one stayed on the NFL. On the same channel. Of the
on
NFL.
The same channel, whatever was the primary network. I can't remember what it was aired on. I want to say it might have been Peacock or it could have been ESPN. I don't remember which network aired it. But it stayed on that network, the primary network of what was aired, and then from there. Another network was airing another halftime show
like
that
ABC
I think they called it the
else.
TPO halftime or some, I forgot the name. My apologies, TPSO, some shit like that.
I saw a glimpse of it. I think
so
I saw Kid Rock
popped up, and Kid Rock was on the guitar.
Like a cheap time halftime show.
Essentially,
like a last minute halftime show.
It's not just last minute. It's for those you guys know the ones because I'm not gonna publicly say it.
But it wasn't choreographed like the NFL.
It was for those specific fans that are Make America Great Again specific.
But it wasn't choreographed like and in camera situated the way Bad Bunny was able to portray this whole image.
Of course not, because it was more of
fields and
people
shit.
were outraged at the fat Bad Bunny, someone that spoke Spanish and was primarily going to speak Spanish halftime show. They were outraged at that fact. So the people that were outraged, they got together and they said, "Well, Kid Rock could have performed in the halftime." And let's be honest, Kid Rock is, forgive me for not knowing, but. To my knowledge, I don't believe Kid Rock is anywhere near as nationally publicized as Bad Bunny.
He's not.
I just don't believe so.
I'm with you.
I don't think he's on that level at any point in time.
I'm not even a Bad Bunny fan. I'm actually against a lot of the things he does.
I get it. The NFL is an American company. I understand that. That could be argued because so many things about the NFL game. But I get that. But they are also a business, and on a business aspect of it,
attack the market.
You got to get the market, and the market wants something that's hot.
Yeah.
It's almost like getting a drink.
And who do you think is cooking your food at a restaurant? Is a Spanish person, and guess what? More than likely. Now, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy, but more than likely,
it's at the point where the majority knows what the majority
wants.
What
market do you think that person falls under?
Mm-hmm.
So, at what point do you entertain that market? And it turned out Bad Bunny was the most viewed halftime show. But granted, it does keep going up.
I think the numbers changed because at one point I thought I read 136 million views, and then I think the number dropped to 133 million.
Because I think
something had changed.
So they take away, I think, like the Apple, because he also streamed it through Apple. He used a lot of different platforms that previous halftime shows were not using.
But be that as it may, he was still top 5 in all of halftime shows to be up there, and just came off of Kendrick Lamar.
You're talking about Michael Jackson, like.
Wow, Whitney Houston, like
all the
we have all these great names up there, and we were this, like it just shows that the majority speak, and the majority showed that they wanted Bad Bunny. Like all these people that are speaking up and were upset about, oh, Bad Bunny speaking Spanish and singing all Spanish in the halftime show. Well, guess what? Y'all are now the minority. Because the majority apparently showed that watched the NFL. The majority showed that, hey, they liked it. They wanted to see more of it. They enjoyed it. Some people, I think some NFL stars, I think J.J. Watt came out and said, hey, I don't know anything that they're saying at all, but I know it was a vibe. That's honestly what it is.
You know what I did notice was...
And before you even start, isn't that all music in a sense?
Yeah.
It's like when you go to rap music, for example, you go to the club and you listen to rap music, half of the shit, if not all of it, is about fucking some girl or about shooting something, getting a charge, or catching this, or a body, you know what I'm saying, buying something, and people are dancing to it, loving it, blah, blah. But it's like, does that mean they're on that particular mindset? Maybe not, maybe they are, but they're there for the vibe, essentially. It's the same thing with reggae music. For anyone who doesn't know reggae, but anyone that hears a Bob Marley song, who is not vibing?
Yeah, who's gonna tell that man?
Do we get upset that he probably smoked weed, probably did other things as well, like not anything crazy, but do we get on him because he smoked weed? Like it's just it's interesting how we pick and choose. It's because you don't understand something. It's crazy how in human nature, when you don't understand something, how you fear it. And that's what it is, essentially. They didn't understand what was going on. They're reading into it. They're talking about how it may violate some FCC guidelines, essentially, and regulations, just because of the fact that the words may have been vulgar, which, let's be honest, Kendrick Lamar, last year, he came out, we said about Drake. So it's just like...
He said the whole P word and stuff. What's crazy is, too, nobody's talking about, I think what was more insane was the girls that were performing. That was the most attractive. I didn't even listen to the lyrics. I can't even tell you the songs that he played because I was just looking at the amount of girls.
And there was a lot of people that were like, "Hey, I don't know what they're saying, but I know the attention that the eye candy is looking nice."
It was on the screen.
I'll take this.
He had tens.
I read a funny stat.
He threw them all out.
Apparently, in New York City, that for 15 minutes and a certain amount of seconds, no bathroom was used, and then after that time there was like an all-time high of flushes at that time. I was like, damn, the halftime show had people waiting to take shits and use to take a piss.
Or other things, among other things, bro.
So that just shows that people were occupied. They didn't leave their seats. Like, you know what happens when anything halftime comes up.
People streamed it.
It's a smoke break. I'm about to go grab some food real quick till the game comes back. Everybody was seated and they watched the game. So
it was big.
They were so well seated that they didn't even go to the bathroom.
Shout out to Bad Bunny, man. He did his
thing.
Hey,
he did his thing, man. Shout out to you. He also was shout out. He shouted out all the country. He shouted out Jamaica. Hey, we appreciate that. As a fellow Jamaican, he did also shout us out towards the end when all the flags came out, which I'm sure got more backlash as well, but whatever. Moving on, though, I mean, obviously we're going to stay with the Super Bowl that did just pass. A funny thing that did just come out, Happy Valentine's for those out there, but you know who's not Happy Valentine's right now?
Who?
Stephon Diggs.
Oh.
Stephon Diggs and Cardi B, man, right after the Super Bowl apparently break up.
Yeah. I think
he on baby number, like, what, 9?
He passed Anthony Edwards on the streak. I think he has the all-time athlete.
He up there.
He has the most kids in a single year as an athlete, as a top athlete. I think it was like 4 this year or 5, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a relationship that did not last long at all.
No, I think it was like 6 months.
I think it's like a trend, dude. I think I may have talked about this before, but I swear I see this trend where a lot of celebrities, I know it's been happening before. I know celebrities have always been with celebrities, but I mean the type of celebrities. Like before we always saw actors with actors, but now I'm seeing a lot of rappers with athletes.
Yeah, but
it's a common thing now.
Why Cardi B? You know, like it would make sense as an athlete to like go for Meg Thee Stallion.
Maybe they run in the same circle somewhere.
No, but it would make sense to like go for like a WNBA or a Meg Thee Stallion because the kid's gonna come out to be a hooper.
I get what you're saying, but maybe at the same time too, maybe they're not thinking of that, but maybe they actually, I think it's
like Clay locked that one down, bro.
I feel like some
Clay's kid about to be nasty.
I feel like some things are not as complex as it seems. I feel like it's really just as simple as you and I when it comes to like when they come to meet these people. they're running in common circles. They met each other at maybe a party or a fundraiser or some type of gathering, or maybe she came to his game because she likes the sport and maybe she found him cute, whatever the case is, or maybe he likes her music type shit. Like maybe it's just one of those things where they just got connected over what their art is, what they do, what their profession is.
The relevancy,
like they didn't really care about who they are as what they do publicly or as far as their business. And then from there, maybe they just mutually just, oh, all right, cool. You interested in anime? You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't think you a rap star would be interested in anime. Maybe it's one of those simple things, you know?
But the biggest part is where you talked about the kid situation is he had all these kids coming into the year and Cardi B took him despite, I think he had a baby on her while they were together.
Jesus.
They weren't married or anything, but while they were together, there was a baby that did come out, or two, maybe two.
I hope that's usually what happens.
There's been so many babies that she accepted him with 3 on the way, and then he surprised her with 2 more.
All right, this guy here.
So you know what I mean? Like, I mean, what do you call that relationship?
Her out here sounding like she's in a warehouse at one of the manufacturing places.
She signed the terms and conditions. That shit was on paper. Bro, there was an interview. Wait, and before we move on from the topic, there was an interview about a team. I forget before Diggs
Which
played
team?
for the Patriots.
Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, before he played for the Patriots, he played for another team.
The Bills.
And they had asked everybody on the team, if you had one person on your team that you would not introduce to your sister, who would that be? And everybody simultaneously, not in one room. Mm-hmm. It was like they asked everyone separately during practice, and they all said, "Oh, Stephon Diggs, Stephon." Everybody on the team. He was known to be this way. So Cardi B kind of knew what she was walking into, and that's part of what she liked too. That's part of her image. That's part of what she attracts. Unfortunately, I mean, this guy's not too far from Offset. He's just more extreme. Offset cheated mad times. Man. He just ain't have 5 kids on you.
And I think too, that's simple stuff too. All that stuff all these kids that get popping out, man. Like
that's simple to them.
That shit that we hear, we hear, like, honestly, like, for example, my dad, for example, he's got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying, including me. So it's like
skipped our generation.
So you know what I'm saying. So I feel like when it comes to when you're a celebrity, when you reach a specific level of viewership or status, anything you do is automatically going to be in the spotlight, and it's going to seem like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that.
But 1 or 2, I get it. They're making a big show. 5, 4, 5.
But think about it though.
All different baby moms.
But hang on. But think about it though. For us Caribbean folk out there and Caribbean parents, you know they had about 11, 12, 13 kids.
My grandma had 14, but
so my point then. So then why is it such a big deal when we hear these celebrities got 5 kids with 4 different baby moms that it's like, oh, it's a big deal.
And
like,
he's rich. Yeah.
It ain't nothing new. This is shit that happened before, but it's just like, oh shit, we're seeing a big celebrity that people know and that we hear. Oh wow, they're doing that. It's honestly shit that ain't new.
I can't believe you made me transition to normalize what Stephon Diggs did.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's right, because I mean,
it's just because it's publicly put out there.
Elon has more kids than Stephon Diggs.
That's just what it is. They all regular people too. They're just in a bigger spotlight.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Everything they do is gonna always be under a microscope. That's just point blank period when it comes to it.
I get it. But yeah, Stephon Diggs definitely gonna be. I mean,
Hey, but congrats on baby number 9 though, man.
Yeah, I mean, on the positive side, he could save his money for Valentine's Day since he didn't win the Super Bowl.
On the bright side, at least they didn't get married. You don't got to go through, a divorce and all that shit, and then she takes all your shit or he takes all your shit.
He didn't have to give up a ring before he actually got one.
It's crazy, man. The Bills couldn't do it when he was with them, and then Patriots couldn't do it with them.
I don't think he was an impact either in that last game. I don't think he did anything. I don't think he scored a touchdown or anything.
It wasn't his fault, man. It was a lot. I mean, the QB was just under pressure. The O-line was just not good at all. They unfortunately just couldn't keep his name is. Wow. Can't remember the QB's name off the top of my head right now. Sorry. They just
couldn't keep it protected.
Drake May. Whew, there it is. Man.
They couldn't keep it protected.
They couldn't keep Drake May protected. That's what it was. The O-line was just shattering, and Seahawks were just every hole pause they were just finding. There was the right, I believe the left guard or the left tackle. I mean, it was so bad that from the jump, the D-line, the O-line, the dude was just falling backwards because he just couldn't protect the QB.
That's not. No one's there's part of the championship team, like a championship Brady. You know, how, like in the NBA, like you make keep
Like
some of the
I don't
players.
know that era has been done and gone.
So everyone's gone.
This
from
is
there?
this is a fresh new Patriots
no
team.
one's-
There's no vets.
There's no experience. Like
there's no
playoff.
vets that have been in like maybe the playoffs, but there's no vets that have been in the
But
Super
like,
Bowl.
Yeah, but like that made an impact, like Pat Mahomes and shit.
Nah,
like that.
nothing like that. Everyone there is relatively going to be essentially, I wouldn't say a new breed, but it's a new generation in a sense. You know, Stephon Diggs is a little bit, he's been in the game for a little while now, but he wasn't, obviously in the era of the Tom Brady's. In the era, yes, but not in the team of that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they have anyone that on that roster that's on that team. Not even the coach, for example.
Correct. Yeah. Bill's gone.
Yeah, so I don't think so. But hey, man, yeah, shout out to Stephon Diggs and that baby, and sorry for that loss, man. Hey, let's go Seahawks. Hey, but we're gonna move to basketball because we talked a lot about culture. That was a segment. Right on to basketball. As I mentioned earlier, Jeremy Sohan moved on over to the Knicks. Obviously, he was waived by the San Antonio Spurs, so now he is picked up. I think that's funny because they lost to the New York Knicks in the what is it? That's how bad it is that I forgot the cup, the NBA Cup. They lost him, so it's funny how now he's playing for them. Don't think that's going to mean anything at all. But my question is, they did recently pick up Jose Alvarado not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Now they got Jeremy Sohan on the team. They got rid of Yershon Gabusele. Now he's playing on the Chicago Bulls, where now he's actually, seems to be getting a role that he likes now because he wasn't getting much minutes with the Knicks. So my main question, are the Knicks a serious contender now with these two acquisitions?
I mean, I think I'm going to stick to my script. They've been contending since before the season started, in my opinion. They were contending. As far as the East goes, it's obvious Detroit is sitting at that number one spot, but I mean,
and they haven't beat them this season.
It's fine though. The number one spot again, we've seen it many times, and I've seen it with my own team where we the best record in the NBA, and then we lost.
True. So. And I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those fans too, and sometimes it still gets me where I'm just like, the season they're doing this good, they're doing that good, or doing this bad. I'm always thinking like, well, playoffs they might do the same, but people don't really understand that. Being in the season, all it's about is just being in the correct position. Pause. Like it's just about making sure you have the correct seating in the bracket.
And if you're not first, then you just have to find what the next best option is. Sometimes it may not be second because that 7 seed may be too much of a threat.
It could be a person that was maybe they didn't have a great season. They're that player. Miami Heat, for example.
Yeah, you always say they're. Like it seems like, for instance, the Spurs and Golden State. Like Golden State kind of was like a little bit of a heel to Wemby and the Spurs during like that little face-off that they had. So yeah, you're at that point you're feared of playing in a playoff 7-game series playing against one of those type of teams. Like you don't.
That's the mindset.
I don't want to play Golden State in the first round. Like I don't. Who the fuck wants to play Steph Curry in the first round?
That's the truth. That's the hard, honest truth. That's what it is. Because when you start the season, you play that team if it's on the same conference, you play them 4 times. 2 away, 2 home. If it's away, obviously, you only play them 2 times. 1 home, 1 away. So we know that already. I think the biggest thing and the concern is when it comes to the playoffs is that you're playing that team in a 7-game series. And depending on where you seat, you may not get more home games than they do. So you have to also remember that you got to play well on the road. That's when being in the season, playing good on the road matters, because if you're in the playoffs, it correlates. Playing away, that's where it really matters. So in a 7-game series, like you mentioned, Golden State, it would definitely be tough because now even no matter where they are in seeding,
they're like 80% over the last 10 years
they're
passing
already,
the first
in
round.
their mindset, they're
already in the second round.
Yeah, in their mindset, like they're not in cruise control anymore. Now this like, we here, all right, bet, wake up. Yo, let me get the what's that plane gas called? The shit air fuel. Yeah. Let me get the air fuel now because I'm about to take off type shit.
That's when you
jet fuel. Wow, it is.
So to put it in perspective, it's like there are teams that become like Achilles heels to certain teams. So like Detroit is not safe because they're number 1. But for the Knicks, I think adding these key parts would definitely maybe change a little bit of what was holding them back, because I feel like the player that they did give up,
Yershon
Yabusele was probably holding them back to a certain extent, like their play style. So maybe getting rid of him, you got rid of some weight that was on you, and then you added some lighter weight. And what are we thinking about Jeremy? What is he playing? Well,
Jeremy Sohan, I had to look it up myself too because I didn't really watch too much of him from the San Antonio Spurs being on the Western Conference. But when I looked it up, apparently he's a good rate defender, good rebounder as well.
we have him as
He does
the-
have that unorthodox free throw shot where he shoots it with one hand. Apparently, Popovich taught him that because he's not a great free throw shooter, so he
Do
shoots
we
with
have
one hand.
do we have him as a center?
So he's listed as a power forward. Will he be in the center position? I don't see it because they gave up Yabusele and now and Yabusele was a forward. And I believe he's, if I'm not mistaken, of the same height of Yabusele. So I see him playing the forward position. I don't see him playing
So
the
backup
five.
for Cat. Okay.
So yeah, no, Cat plays the center. Remember,
Okay.
he's not. Yeah, I know he's supposed to play the four. I understand that, but
That's fine. Draymond plays the center sometimes.
exactly, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know how these things go. We get into it. But so yeah, I think he's gonna play the four. That's a great pickup defensively. I like it because, like I've always stressed every time since you guys have seen me doing these podcasts, and if you've heard me, I constantly stress that it's all about having a deep bench. You have to have depth. If you don't have a good depth in your bench, when playoff time comes and your all-star is not being an all-star and they're looking kind of like a soft star, if I may, you need that person off the bench to come show up, light the fuel, light whatever you want to say, get the spark going, and you need them to be able to get the other guys going. Because if the all-star is not there and you got a role player that's able to come off the bench like an Andre Iguodala, for
need to
example,
assume the role,
and be that six man, like if you're
that was based on veterancy, and he knew that he could play that role.
So
These
that,
young guys.
So that's what we need, and that's
young
what we
guys-
picked up in the Jose Alvarado. I'm not saying he's a vet, but we've seen him
vet.
in the
He's a
playoffs
vet.
before. He had that crazy run when he was playing the Pelicans, and they were going up against, I think it was the Phoenix Suns that year. The Phoenix Suns lost against Milwaukee, so Milwaukee won the championship. In that first round, I believe it was when they played the Suns. I hope I got that right. Alvarado was a nightmare.
I think you're right. I remember he
was
a nightmare. He
He-
wasn't.
I think against Chris Paul, he was just constantly getting steals, and it wasn't that he does great with 3-point shooting. It's just the fact that the perimeter defense. That's one thing that we're lacking at the point guard position for the Knicks. Let's be honest.
He's gonna make up for Jalen Brunson,
And that's what
Okay.
we need. You know,
That's
Jalen
fine.
Brunson, he's great offensively. We know what he does in the playoffs. We know what he does in the season. We know what he does when he's injured. We know what he does when he's not injured.
So that's actually gonna change. That's gonna change how you guys play with good teams.
Exactly, because now you got Jose that'll come out there like, hey, you know, they might even do where they have Jalen Brunson run the 2. And they have
on defense.
and have
On defense.
Jose Alvarado play the 1, and maybe in a certain line, not to start, but in the line.
Whoever's taller, depending on whoever's. I don't know how tall Jose.
I don't even think it's gonna be a height thing because realistically, because ideally the point guard is the person that brings the ball up the court. That's usually what happens. So usually your playmaker. Usually,
But on offense, it would always stick to Jalen. I think on defense is where it would switch.
correct.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it'll work still because he can still facilitate the ball very well, which is why he can play the point guard position and have Jalen Brunson play the 2. Because we know he's not Jalen Brunson's not a playmaker. He's an offensive threat.
Yeah.
You know, that's just his game. Yeah. And they already mentioned that they wanted him not to have the ball in his hand as much. They want to have him playing off the ball offense.
Okay.
So if you have a Jose Alvarado who's a legitimate facilitator who can actually facilitate and then get back transition defense, that's someone that can now free up a Jalen Brunson. Now I got to deal with Jose Alvarado GTA if I
you
may.
got Cat still, and
you know,
you
so now I got to deal with this guy all
OG,
over the place and
Mikal
shit.
Bridges
And then
still hitting
he's what is he? Oh fuck, where's Brunson? Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It becomes the impact Golden State had for a while.
exactly. So now you got another player that you have to worry about. So while he may not, show up in the box office in the box score, he's gonna show up when it comes to defense. And he did the other night have actually, I believe, not a career high, but a game Knicks high for him. I think it was 24 or 26 points, 5 steals. I can't remember how many assists he had, but it was up there. I think more than 5. I think more than 6 assists. So it just shows he's not gonna have that game every night. But what it showed was he had that game, and Jalen Brunson didn't have to play like that. He played, I think, maybe a little bit over 20 minutes. I think he got his 20 points, if I'm not mistaken. But the highlight of it was he didn't shoot the ball much. So it's like now you're seeing that you get your all-star to rest in this season, which is what we need.
Correct.
To go into have a deep playoff run. So I like it. It's a good pickup. Playoffs is going to look a lot nicer. We're going to need that against the Detroit Pistons because we have yet to beat them in the season, which It's a season. Playoffs are different. We beat them last year, but
playoffs
that's
different.
last year.
Playoffs are different. It's a 7-game series.
So I think we're gonna need it. The problem is height. You know, Jose Alvarado not much taller than I think actually shorter than Jalen Brunson. I believe Jalen Brunson listed 6'1", 6'2", and Jose
Still
is
makes up for the defense.
like
though.
6 foot, but probably 5'10",
You guys
5'11".
have you guys front court is tall. So
Yeah, but the front court is
with OG, you got Cat, and then
OG is not tall. He's just got a wingspan.
wingspan,
Really tall
but-
is gonna be Mitchell
I mean,
Robinson
but
and Cat.
December. On defense, though, defensively, you guys have a really big threat. You guys have, bro, probably the best defensive team in the league right now.
We're up there.
You guys have Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby.
What they call it, what they say we have the best wing defenders. That's what they say because we got the OG and the Mikal. So yes, wing defenders are great. They're good at the corner. They're good when it comes to even guarding at the perimeter. It's like they're good there.
Like you might be able to go 4-on-5.
You add that. You add that Jose Alvarado now.
Jaden could sit down and on defense, and y'all still.
And that's what's crazy too, is what it's looking like right now. We're having Jose there. Jalen's not having to be out there as long, and we're still winning games. Like that's dangerous.
Correct. Yeah.
That's very, very dangerous. Now, hopefully, it's not dangerous to the fact where he gets cold. We don't want him to get cold.
I don't think we would.
I don't think so either. But it's still early to tell.
I think he knows his.
You know, it's only year 3 of being on the Knicks.
He found his identity already.
I believe year 3 of the Knicks. So it's still early to tell on that. But moving on. So we thinking possibly serious contenders at the end of all that conversation. Knicks serious contenders.
Yes, sir.
Moving on. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out for the season with knee injury. Recently acquired to the Utah Jazz.
Damn.
Yeah. Honestly.
Now that's more upsetting than getting a player that's already hurt.
It is.
Because I didn't even know he was hurt.
I was kind of wondering that, like, damn, to know that you just acquired a player and now he's having. I know Jazz weren't looking to do anything in the season. Potentially, they're probably gonna have a losing season anyway. They're not gonna make it to the playoffs. But to know that you get a player and now he's having a season-ending surgery, it's like, damn.
Knee surgery.
And knee surgery ain't nothing to play with, especially when you're one of those big guys that got the weight on you. I think he's 6'9", maybe, probably easily over 250, maybe 260 pounds.
Yeah, you gone.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know what it's like with these bigger guys in the knee surgery. Hopefully he's able to come back because he is a great defender. I mean, he previously won Defensive Player of the Year. So we want to see him out there. You know,
unlike some other teams and some other impactful players, I don't think Jazz are in a position to where they're gonna need Triple J to make an impact.
Yeah, not for this season. Yeah. It wouldn't have worked this season. It just sucks because now they got
too, so you got to let him recuperate.
He's that much older. I think he's still in his 20s, maybe like I say 26, 27. I don't think he's that much older.
He came in with Ja? That was Ja's draft?
I don't know if it was with Ja's draft, but I mean, that was that whole era of the whole Memphis Grizzlies, spark that they had going on with the Dylan Brooks, the Brandon Clarks, all of them over there. But it sucks. But now they got 2 players that are out that are supposed to be key roles in their starting lineup, Walker Kessler and Jaren Jackson Jr.
So who they got left?
Bro, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't watch enough Utah Jazz basketball. And for the fans that do watch Utah Jazz, I'm sorry, but y'all market's not out. Y'all not up there.
One of my boys.
Y'all haven't been hot since Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry.
I don't know why. Yeah, my boy's a big Utah fan. I think it's because he's from over there.
If you're from there, I guess it makes sense.
Why not pick the Denver Nuggets? Like, it's weird.
Are they that close?
Denver's next door to Utah.
Is it really? Yeah. I know they got mountains and shit.
Colorado or Utah is 2 different states.
I know. I didn't realize they're right next to each other. Shit, forgive me for not knowing my geography. Didn't pay attention much. I guess
the Colorado Rockies divide them. The Colorado Rocky Mountains divide them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got.
Check to see if my geography is good. Bro.
Yeah, we gotta check that one.
My geography is pretty. I'm
pretty. We gonna get flamed on here.
No, I'm pretty scholared when
I feel like you're pretty good with this stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty scholared with my.
Yeah, you're right. Utah and Colorado right next to each other.
And if you really look into it, I think the Colorado Rocky Mountains is what separates.
We gonna ahead and fact check him right now, folks.
Yeah, if you want, I could actually tell you the exact lake that ran.
Yes, sir. He is right. Yes, sir. He is right.
If you want, I could tell you the man-made lake that was created that runs through.
Nah, we don't gotta go that deep into it.
I go through the streets and the avenues.
Back to Utah and the Mormons. Also, another thing that happened with Utah, which I think is interesting, we should talk about. But Utah Jazz obviously waived Alonzo Ball because he was recently acquired, so he got waived.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. They did Alonzo Ball dirty.
Let me make sure, because it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit,
Damn, bro, you don't waive a player and make him sit out the whole season.
I'm sorry. Utah Jazz, he's expected to be waived and become a free agent. Doesn't look like it was official just yet.
So with free agency, if I'm not mistaken, can any team pick you up anytime? Or
Yeah,
do they
when
have
you
to wait till
so
the
I believe
playoffs?
no. I believe what it is when you're a free agent, you can pick anyone up at any time. But I believe like if you're recently waived, I don't think you can get like signed that day. I think it has to be like 24 hours or some shit, maybe even 48. I think there's a time frame like timing like that, but it's not like anything where like oh like hey trade deadline's done so we can't pick you up. It's not like that because we've seen it where players pick up these guys 10-day contracts before the playoffs start. So I think it's one of those things depending on where your salary cap is, on what you're allotted, what you can do. You know, hey, 10-day contract, we give you this much money. Oh, hey, we could sign you for a 1 year. So from here until, you know, next midway to next season type shit maybe, or to maybe we re-sign you.
Yeah.
So
Usually
that's what is a free
contending
agent.
teams do that.
For example, here's a
Contending
prime
teams.
example of a player that's happened to. Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas was recently waived by the Brooklyn Nets,
Yeah.
and then he was just recently signed by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, so he was picked up.
Yeah, he was
so
picked
you
up.
Could pick, okay, so you
And
could pick him up.
he recently played. I watched him play. Not nothing different, you know, from him, but it can happen. You know, you can get a free agent like pretty quickly. It looks like.
Oh, so okay, so I think damn.
So-
So Chris, damn.
But see, the
Okay.
thing with Chris Paul is he officially retired. He announced he retired. I mean, we've seen it play athletes. I can't say NBA
wanna get
players,
into it,
but
but I
we've
know.
seen athletes where they announce retirement and then don't retire. Tom Brady's the first one that comes to mind. You know, he announced he
Yeah,
was going to
but-
retire and then came out of retirement and played. So I don't think Chris Paul is going to do that. But
We've had like Michael Jordan,
But
Kobe.
I always think of it this way. When it comes to players like that, if the deal makes sense for me for what I'm looking for to do in life, because it seems like he's looking to, you know, move on and be on to something different in life. Maybe whether that's in coaching or just an ownership, whatever that case may be. Maybe if a deal came into play where they could be like, yo, hey, we'll sign you to like a 10-day to this team, and you know that way you can kind of finish your career in your way, say bye to the fans type shit. Maybe one of those might happen with him. I could see him on a 10-day and then they retire him. You know what I'm saying?
On a winning team, or a winning
I
team.
don't know about a winning team, but maybe one of his teams that he played for. Obviously not the Clippers. We know
Not
that shit's dead
OKC.
and gone. It's funny. The Clippers are.
Why OKC won't pick him up, bro?
Yo, Clippers. You know, Clippers is a cruise ship, and I was about to say that ship has sailed. Sorry, corny ass joke. Anyways,
But no, why OKC won't pick him up, bro? They got mad
No,
room.
I
They
really-
can give him. They can give him $1 million.
I know they just picked up Jared McCain, so I'm surprised. Maybe they thought about it, maybe they discussed it, and maybe he's just realized that at this time he's like, you know what, dude, like I'm just tired.
He's too much. Chris Paul's too much too.
I don't know if it's Chris Paul's too much, but I sorry, like I said, I always see both sides of the coin. I try to. Maybe it's for him in a personal perspective. He's been on so many teams, dog. Like maybe just personally, he's got kids. He's got a family that's still relatively kind of young. His kids, they're growing up. They're at that age now where like they're getting ready probably to go into, I don't know, I'm just assuming maybe like they're coming out of high school or going out of high school. Maybe they're going into the first years of college. Who knows what the case may be. So maybe he's just at that point in his career, his life, where he's just like, yo, I'm just really trying to step back. Like Mike Tomlin, for example, the coach of the Steelers. You know, he was recently let go. Now he's not being. He doesn't want to be a coach right now. He wants to take time.
With the Chris Paul situation, I think like no, the biggest thing with like teams picking him up is you're picking up Chris Paul and his coaching style mannerism. Like he's very like.
But maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he's just like tired of it, dude.
Well, maybe
20, how many years?
What you're saying is maybe he wants to go away from the game of basketball, and that's fine. That's
maybe
fine.
Just wants to. Maybe Jenny wants to focus on what his something outside of NBA.
But he could have still played
Mm-hmm.
if he chilled out a bit. I think he was too much in people's game.
That's what it
and
sounds like.
altered
What that
people's-
was reported. You know, he
Yeah.
sounded like his coaching style just clashed with other actual coaches. You know, he's a
coaches
vet.
and players and things like
You know,
that.
I don't know how it is with vets, but I know when I played in the sport, when you had the guys that have been on the team longer, you typically kind of listen to those guys. You hear their
On
lead.
that team longer, yes, but like the guy that came from the other school, and just because he's played 3.5 years, like just because he's a vet from another school, you don't really give him the same grace as a homegrown.
I agree, but that's more of like a elementary level, as if I
Like
could
like
say.
when he went to Golden State,
in a professional level,
they
though,
didn't consider him.
for example, in a professional level, dang, I didn't want to bring up this team but I know you're gonna understand. For example, when you're picking up a Kevin Durant, you know what I'm saying, like that changes the dynamic there. You know, Kevin Durant is already a well-named star from a team that's well-known at this
And
point.
that's a perfect example of a person who doesn't impose himself. That was the part that. So it's not the impact or like the energy that Kevin Durant's gonna bring or Chris Paul for take, but it's the clash that Chris Paul kind of
It's
almost
it's like you said, it's coaching
attracts.
style.
Like he kind of attracts this like negativity of people like telling him, "Yo, chill out, bro. Like let me play. Like let me hoop. Bro. I know what I'm
if
doing."
you will, I guess maybe you could say maybe that Michael Jordan mindset, because did Michael Jordan clash, for example, with Steve Kerr at practice and shit like that?
I think you know.
So could we? Is it like that kind of a deal we're talking?
I think Michael Jordan can, in his era, and I wasn't there, but per se, like I would have let him come to any team, and yeah, we're listening to Michael. Whatever.
Well,
he
not coming.
said.
This is when they were on the team together.
But
So
he was winning so much that
True,
it's like,
true.
yeah, listen to him.
I think Chris Paul, his thing obviously wasn't like a winning thing for his, more of an experience and what he's done going into the playoffs, and also too, being in around the league. I don't know.
He's had much success, man. He's a Hall of Famer, bro. But it sucks.
It just sucks the way they went out like that.
He
It
did
sucks
not
that
win.
he didn't win, but it sucks more that he went out that way. At least, like, for example,
Charles
I know
Barkley, bro.
I'm a Carmelo fan, but like at least Melo, like, he got his little flowers. He left, but he left better than at least the way Chris
he
Paul
left
did.
way better than that. He left way better than everybody.
Like, I wish Melo would have left a lot better.
Better will be
but it
Melo for
wasn't
the
his
rest
fault.
of his life. Like
Yeah.
he would be relevant for the rest of his life.
This
because
Chris
of what
Paul
he
thing
did.
is always going to go down as a damn, but they did him dirty in the end. It's always going to go down, and it's probably not going to change. It's still going to bring it up even when he gets into the Hall of Fame, which he better get into the Hall of Fame. It's still even going to happen when he gets into the Hall of Fame. People are still going to be like, dang, it's crazy how they did him. It's crazy how they did him.
Yeah, but I think he had ample opportunities to win a championship, and he didn't bring him over the line.
That's fine. I get it. The closest I think he had was going to be with the Phoenix Suns when he went against the Bucks.
Some would say he is a better point guard than Jason Kidd. But
There's
Jason Kidd did bring one.
There's an
over
argument
the
to be
fence.
said there.
Jason Kidd did bring one over the
Real
fence.
quick, what's your favorite, Chris Paul, CP3 moment? Whether it's a team,
It's that Blake Griffin era.
Blake Griffin, the Clippers,
when
Clippers
he was-
era, over there with
I
DeAndre
read
Jordan.
I read something. It's ironic you brought
Lob
that
City.
up because I read something last night where they were like, the players were saying, "Yo, we were mad at Chris Paul when he would do the lob because he's such a perfect pass that he didn't allow us to do these outrageous dunks that we wanted to do. He would like literally put the ball near the hoop. We
he could
just
just put
dunk
it-
it,
yeah.
yeah." And so they were like, we tell him like, "Yo, can you just don't look, like throw a no look pass so we can grab it from wherever it comes and do a crazy dunk." And it wasn't until Chris Paul gave into that he was able to these players were able to get these highlight dunks. But it's funny to see people highlight that era of Chris Paul. I think that was his best era. He didn't go the furthest then, because obviously he went the furthest with the
Man,
Phoenix
front
Suns.
office, back office, all that shit was a problem with that era. A lot of things were wrong there.
But
That
he
was probably the best
hooping, though.
Clippers team, but
He
yeah, I
was
agree.
hooping. So going through whatever storms they were weathering, he was hooping. They just weren't a winning. They didn't win. They didn't win it at any point. Again, closest things was Phoenix Suns, but I don't think that was prime Chris Paul either.
I think for me,
I think
then,
that was just a help to Devin Booker.
yes, I agree. Phoenix Suns was a good one, and I was gonna say that one, but I think another one that I think was really good was the Houston Rockets era. I think the Houston Rockets era was a pretty decent one too, as well.
Yeah, I think they did get clipped, unfortunately, at some point.
Chris Paul and James Harden, did they play at the same time, or was that the trade? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think they got to. I think they were the trade in. I
think that was a trade, right?
For instance,
Because he was there with Clint Capella, Chris Paul. Who else was there?
I think they always get traded for each other. Wait, didn't Chris Paul play at the Clippers?
Yeah, he played the
So he
Clippers.
played with James Harden.
No, not technically. I mean, they did, but that was this whole time of this era that just happened.
Yeah, so I mean, he got to play a little bit with him.
He's always been on the teams that James Harden's been on for too as well. OKC, Houston.
Yeah, James Harden been around the
What
block.
else?
I think James Harden been on more teams than Chris Paul.
Nah, I don't believe so.
Bro, he been on the Nets. He been on Philly.
You're forgetting who CP3 is, bro.
Yo,
CP3
you're right,
has
you're
been
right,
on many teams and been in
You're
the
right.
league a lot longer.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Touche.
dog. Yeah. All right, moving on though. Lastly, no, I'm just kidding. Not lastly. Y'all still here with us. Who do you think right now is primed to win an NBA chip? I know we talked about the Knicks possibly being contenders, but realistically talking, no favoritism here to any team. Warriors, Knicks, Magic, Miami, none of them teams, whatever y'all got. Who do you think right now is primed to win an NBA chip? We're about midway season, part through the season now. We're approaching the All-Star game coming up on Saturday, Sunday time too.
Considering people's injuries and everything like that.
And I'm gonna give you a little breakdown too.
No, I mean, I can kind of like
the
recap
standings.
it.
We're gonna look at the standings here for you. But right now in the standings, what we currently got, I'm gonna give you just the top 6 because that's where they're not playing. Top 6 East: Detroit, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Raptors, 76ers. Who you got coming out of the East? Those so far.
I got the Knicks.
Knicks out of the Pistons, Celtics, Cavs, Raptors, 76ers.
Knicks is the hungriest. They got the playoff experience. They've lost enough times to overcome to a victory. That's all it is, bro.
You don't think Cleveland might have a chance picking up James Harden?
No.
A lot of people are thinking. I mean, you can't.
What number are they again?
Right now, the Cavs are number 4, right underneath the Knicks.
Yeah, they're
too
volatile.
Let me add some context to it. All right, let me add some context to it.
Too
Right
volatile.
now, number 2, 3, and 4 are Celtics, Knicks, Cavs in that order. That's Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, and the records are Celtics 35-19, Knicks 35-20, Cavs 34-21.
Okay.
So you see, the records are
it's pretty close.
they're literally right there.
Pretty close.
So the reason why I bring that up, even with that right now it stands, and I know regular season's for seeding. You still think the Cavs don't have a chance against the Knicks?
No. The Knicks are gonna turn it up. Bro.
Okay.
They're young.
What about the Pistons?
The Pistons are gonna be the biggest threat for the Knicks.
Okay.
But they don't get to face the Knicks until the semi. So that won't be a problem in the first 2 rounds for the Knicks. But I think the Knicks have the most experience. They got the most hurt. Like it's like they've been around the block and just failed enough times to be like, yo, I got burned too much. It's time to win, bro.
I don't know. Trust
and
me.
they got everybody.
To the lifelong fans out there, you guys know the ones I'm talking about. I know y'all been in pain since 1973. Yes, I get it for the people that just can't stand us Knicks fans. That's what I hate. The whole people that can't stand us because we're so passionate. Whatever that is, that's another story. I get it. I feel the pain, honestly, because it sucks when you see the team go through all the shit they're going through. Like, front office is bad, back office is bad, draft picks were bad, trading players for certain players were bad. It was just, everything was a lot of things just bad. And to think that we really haven't had a great team since or championship team since the 73, and we haven't had like a playoff type of team since what? Really, this era?
You made a few playoff runs, but not like how consistent you guys are.
But
right
not
now.
consistent. Yeah, we make
right
it maybe 1 year. Next year we fall off tremendously.
You guys could go on a 5 to 10 year threat, just like every other organization is, like the Celtics.
With how they are now.
Yeah, with how they are now. Like if they stay to how they are, like you can go on a Golden State threat. Now, can you win as many championships? You could win more, probably.
We could probably win.
Yeah, like you could win more.
I wouldn't say more, but
if you stay on fire.
You know what? Maybe because
you acquire some crazy Giannis or something, but
they are a relatively young team right now. Who will be that as me? I think the oldest player on that team probably might be maybe Jordan Clarkson.
If like Jalen Brunson starts shooting threes lights out, like.
I can
see
what I
mean, like
because we are in that part,
logo
in that generation switch now, the old and the new coming in. I would arguably say that the Knicks right now, the Jalen Brunson era is a new generation. So yeah, I could see a dynasty
on
or
that
something.
team is worth something including Cat with as much fucking.
But you can say the same. But you can say the same exact thing about Detroit. I mean, and I'm gonna put some context to it too.
I can't name you all 5 players on the starting lineup of the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, but it's because you can't name them. That doesn't mean they're not good. Let's be honest. Detroit Pistons.
They're not the Knicks good, is what I'm saying.
They just blew out the Knicks by 38 points the other night.
Well, yes, bro. But I'm saying like as far as players, individual players, like. If you grab Mikal Bridges, that is an asset. You can trade that man for $1 billion. You grab OG, you can trade that man for $1 billion. And then you grab everybody individually, not how they performed as a team on a 5-on-5 performance when Jalen might have had the fluke. I think he went over. He had a bad shooting percentage or whatever. Recently. So it's like it could be a bad game, but when you look at objectively each player. And you really look at individually what they bring individually to that team that makes collectively that team and that dynamic, the Knicks are worth more as an organization than the Detroit Pistons.
I can see what you're saying. Right now, the reason why I bring up Detroit is because obviously they're number 1 in the Eastern Conference and they've been a nightmare against the Knicks. They've not only just blown them out 2 times already this season, but they've shown that defensively they're a major impact against the Knicks, which is a problem. If they're doing that in the regular season, I get it's the regular season, but the way they're doing it with these high anticipated games, like everyone knows that when the Knicks and the Pistons play, based off how last season was in the playoffs, when they played this season, every time they play, everyone wants to see the game. Everyone wants to see a neck back and forth game. But every time they've played, and these games have been televised, if I'm not mistaken, they've just played like ass. They're missing shots. They're not. It's just like a night and day difference. So that's why I find it. I do agree. Yeah, it's regular season, so maybe because they know it's a regular season game, they're just like, all right, we're not gonna go hard because we'll see them again. Maybe that's the
maybe you don't want to show all your cards.
Maybe that's the mindset, but it's just
maybe you want to lose on purpose to win later.
As someone that's watching it live, when you see the Knicks, they can, for example, I know it's the Brooklyn Nets, they can blow them out by 55 plus points or 54, however much it was. Yes, again, it's the Nets, but then you can get blown out by a team that's supposed to be number one and you're number two, number three. Sometimes the Knicks I'm talking about, to get blown out by 38 points, and the last time I think it was like by maybe double digits again, over 10. It's alarming because we see that we can do it to good teams. We did it to the Celtics not too long ago as well. So it's weird seeing them do it to good teams, but then when they go against the Pistons, it's like they're not even the same team. Now, I haven't seen them against the Pistons, I believe, with Jose on the team now, because I believe when he was acquired, it was at that time where he couldn't play just yet. He had to pass physicals. So I am interested to see how that's going to look, especially with the acquisition of Jeremy Sohan. So, yeah, they could be prime. They could potentially
If I'm
get the
not mistaken,
championship.
did they not win the cup?
They won the cup.
That's it, bro. This is a threat. They had to beat somebody on the West, right? Who they beat? Who they beat?
They beat San Antonio.
You got to be somebody to beat San Antonio with Wemby.
Yeah, I guess I'm still not convinced that the NBA Cup is a.
It's something in that last game. I agree with you that maybe leading up to it, people may not care. On that last game, those two teams that are there, and you talking about $1 million each play on the line.
Yeah,
they start looking at the Rolex that they about to buy, like the car they about to buy.
I'm not gonna lie. That's what I think.
That's a Bugatti for these people.
I think the and this is a little sidetrack. The excitement with the play-in, and not the play-in, sorry, with the NBA Cup is that when it does come down to the last few brackets, it does get exciting because you're like, all right, cool. This is a championship type of game, so we get to see who's gonna win this out of these two teams. Like, all right, cool. Oh, damn, they really going. All right. So I think it's one of those things where it's like it gets good viewership because it's the intensity that they're gonna play it, because the players know I'm winning something, whether it's money or the opportunity to be more publicly known because I'm on a televised set. Because a lot of these teams don't get as many nationally televised games. So being in the NBA Cup allows not only that organization to be nationally televised, but it allows for maybe even that player to be now nationally viewed, and now maybe more people tune into him or Correct. They watch more of their games. So it's a whole business that runs into it. But I think they just need to change the concept a little bit.
I think regardless of how we view it, because we kind of get to see like the overall cogwheel, how everything works, but as far as the regular fans, like you said, they just go into it and they enjoy it.
Yeah. That's why I feel
it's just like something new to them. They're like, oh, cool, this is going on. Like, let's watch this tournament or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a tournament. Yeah. Who's in it? Oh, these teams are in it. Oh, cool. Let me see what they're about. It's kind of like, in a sense, you
get the fake fans come out.
It's like March Madness with college football, in a sense.
You get
like right now, be honest with y'all. I know we said in the beginning that we was going to talk about college basketball. I have not, but I'll be honest, there are so many teams. It's impossible to keep up with all these games. For the ones that do it that professionally, kudos to y'all. But
for the ones that don't, you will sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard to do. So from the highlights that I've seen, anytime when March Madness comes up, which is approaching next month, everyone's always tuned into it. It's kind of like the playoffs. It's kind of like the NFL playoffs. Everyone tunes in when it's like, all right, shit's kind of starting to tighten up. It's the same thing, and I see what they were doing to bring in that, viewership, get more people to watch. I think if you want to bring more excitement, though, instead, start a bracket 1 through however many teams on each side. I think is it 6 teams from each side, so 12. 1 through 12, whoever is 1 through 12 from the time the NBA season day starts, opening day, till you set the point to fucking, I don't know, October, whatever time you want to set. From this time to this time, this is the bracket. Whoever's in that top 12, we're gonna make the playoffs for y'all.
Yeah, so that you say make it smaller because they had having every team there was
because doing these group games, I don't think it's really the best, because some teams really don't play other teams because there's only a certain amount of group games you're playing. So you don't really get to see the full all be all of the team, because maybe those group games that they played, they're in a weaker schedule, and maybe the other team that actually is good has or actually isn't good is playing a harder schedule. And then, we've seen it with OKC, for example.
Golden State with the back-to-back.
Last year they won the cup. Before that it wasn't OKC. Sorry, the Bucks. Before
It was OKC, and then before that was the Bucks.
And then before that, it was LA. So we've seen all these teams win the cup, but they haven't done much after the fact.
Besides OKC, and now I'm calling it on the Knicks.
Actually, no, OKC didn't win. Now you just said that because they haven't won a cup and a championship.
Okay,
It was the Bucks. It was the Bucks that won, and then
But I'm calling it on the Eastern Conference. Knicks is coming on top. On the West, I kind of have an idea of what the top 6 lineup looks like. Obviously,
I got y'all right now in case y'all don't
you got
know.
OKC,
Thunder.
You got Spurs.
Yep.
You got Houston.
Nuggets.
You got Denver.
Nuggets.
Okay.
Then we
you
got
Houston.
Yeah.
Then you got the Lakers.
Yeah.
Then you got Phoenix.
Close. Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. Okay. Then you got Phoenix after.
Then Phoenix is 7 at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Who we got?
out of that one, you got to go with the championship team, but I'm gonna go with an exception. If OKC does not heal SGA and SGA doesn't come back like as strong as possible, or he's still hurt to some extreme, we're gonna go back into Houston. I think Houston's gonna make Houston's gonna make the biggest impact out of everybody on the West besides OKC. Because they got Kevin Durant, bro, and Kevin Durant is more impactful right now than LeBron James, and then they got an awesome overall team. And God forbid their guard comes back. God forbid.
Fred VanVleet?
Yeah.
I don't think he's.
FVJ comes back.
You know, it could be a surprise because I haven't really, maybe because I'm not as tuned into the Houston Rockets organization as much, but I haven't really heard much reports of him coming back as much as I've heard. Like, for example, we got Damian Lillard coming into. He's going to be in the 3-point competition, for example.
Really?
And then we got Jason Tatum, who's playing 5-on-5 in the G League right now. So I haven't heard anything about Fred VanVleet, but he did have an ACL injury, which isn't as serious as an Achilles. So recovery time is a little bit less. We've seen Kyrie put up shots. So maybe because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah.
Maybe he could come back at a surprise out of nowhere, some shock saying, "Oh, Fred VanVleet due to play in the playoffs," which would be nasty because if he came back come playoffs, he wouldn't have to play heavy minutes, but just to be out there because he's been in the championship level before, might work.
He's also a quiet player too. So he's not the media guy. He's not the guy that wants to be like recording while he's working out and stuff.
Very
Like, we don't see
soft-spoken.
videos of him working out. We're sure
Yeah.
he is. He has to be doing some type of physical training.
Like we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, or if it's not like
Some players
publicly put out
expose
there.
it. Some players kind of like allow cameras to be in play or whatever. So other
Some
players
get in
don't.
that mentality where they just close all the doors, turn off all the audio
Fred
type shit.
potentially is like, let them forget about me, and I'll surprise them when I show back up.
Honestly, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That'd be epic.
So
'cause
Houston's my pick out of the West. I'm not gonna pick the Spurs because I don't think Wemby can stay healthy throughout the playoffs, and I don't think obviously there's enough experience besides the front office of that team, and everybody. I think
with who? The Spurs?
The Spurs, yeah,
Not enough experience?
yeah,
Have you not seen the way them boys are playing?
winning experience. As of lately. Like I'm talking about playoff time, winning experience.
Yeah, bro. It's the Spurs. It's not like they fire their whole entire staff.
Well, that's what I mean. Their front office, like
still
their staffs are good. So going from ownership down to like Pop still being around and like their coaching and things like that. But as far as like all the players on the floor,
Oh, the championship level.
yeah, there's
that
not
team?
championship level players on that team. As far as championship experience,
Yeah, but there's with the exception of a very few vets that are out there, like the LeBron James, the Currys, and the KDs. There's not too many other like.
no, you can throw in Giannis, you can throw in.
No, but I'm just talking about in the sense where like a lot of these teams, because a lot of these teams don't really have those. We knew San Antonio Spurs for Tim Duncan's, the Tony Parkers. Like that's what we know that franchise for. So a lot of that franchise is older and been moved on by now. So yeah,
so they haven't rebuilt that yet. To be a
What do you mean?
to be a contending
I
threat.
can't confirm that San Antonio Spurs haven't built it because they haven't proven it yet. Obviously, they lost in the cup. They're still number 2 right now in the rankings, but we don't know what they'll do in the playoffs. So
Correct.
I can't confirm that. I agree, but I can't also sit here and say that they're not going to potentially be something.
If they face Golden State in the first round, they're losing.
And let's not forget and again, regular season, they have consistently beat OKC this season.
No, I know, but if they face Golden State in the first round, they're losing. And they're second, and Golden State could potentially be 8th or 7th or 8th.
Did Wemby play in the playoffs last year? I'm not going to look it up, but I'll leave y'all.
I think he was hurt.
If he was hurt, I don't know. I gotta see these guys in the playoffs, man. When playoffs come, that tells you whether the player's gonna be. That tells me everything about a player.
Yeah.
That's why I feel you with the Cavs thing, with James Harden being on that team in the playoffs, because I love James Harden. Phenomenal player, first round Hall of Famer for sure, first ballot. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do what the
History
Cavs need.
tends to repeat itself.
Yeah,
And
he chokes in the playoffs.
We saw it with T-Mac, and T-Mac is one of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball.
It just yeah. You
Brought some phenomenal basketball.
some of these players are elite in the season, they're elite in the playoffs, but they just can't win.
You saw it with Charles Barkley. You saw it with Chris Paul.
Carmelo Carmelo.
But again,
I don't think did Carmelo have very much playoff experience?
He did. No, actually, he did.
Not as much though.
He did with Denver.
Some of the names we named.
I think with Denver, he had a lot.
Oh
a lot
yeah,
more.
Denver.
Yeah, with Denver, he
For
had
sure,
a lot
Denver.
more than the Knicks.
I know that's where he started his career.
He went to the playoffs with the Knicks a few times though.
A few times, but not as much as he probably should have.
No.
Should have gone on more. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. that's another conversation. Moving on, because we know we at that halfway point right now with the season. So another thing to talk about, we're not just talking about just the championships and who we think might win this season, but also a little bit about MVPs, Rookie of the Year, most improved player. A lot of those players right now are probably being considered, right now for those awards. Obviously, a lot of other players are being known for kind of running close when it comes to being named for awards because of the fact of that 65-game rule. So I'm curious who you think right now is a contender. Not going to say who's going to win MVP, but who's a contender for MVP. Just name one. You don't got to go in full detail.
Contending for MVP, man. Based on where the season is going.
And remember that 65-game rule and players think about that too.
Yeah.
Just think about all of them.
Based on that and the fact that I don't know the trajectory of people's injuries in the near side of future, you gotta say SGA might be able to qualify for it. He might be able to make that 65 game. I don't think his injury is that serious.
I think it was an abdominal strain, I believe it was.
Yeah,
groin or abdominal, one of the two.
I don't think his is that serious to where he'll be disqualified from that, because I think that'd be big for him, for the team, to keep their momentum going. Obviously, I'm gonna go with SGA. You said name one.
All right, the one that I had right now, which I really didn't consider, but I'm considering just a little bit, Cade Cunningham as a candidate. Not saying winner, candidate for MVP. Only because when I look at just like how the stats are for the season and like what he's doing on the Eastern Conference at a point guard, so at his position that they put him as, he's definitely doing phenomenal things. He's leading the league in assists right now. His points per game has gone up. Efficiency has gone up. I'd like to see better three-point shooting from him, obviously, but he's got that in his bag too when he needs it sometimes. So I think Cade is definitely a solid candidate for MVP, given all these players that have this 65-game rule where they might not meet. So I think he's a good candidate. And then even if you go against the Western Conference, yes, SGA I would think would win over Cade. But I was thinking just because of the injury and how Cade has been available
Jokic
this
is
whole time.
out. Jokic may not be able to make that.
And if they make it into the finals too, I mean, if they made it into the finals and OKC somehow doesn't, get their guys back, their starters back, that might be the turning point for Cade to become like a high
65 games is a lot of games, bro. Like,
is it though?
Play 65 games, out of 82, that's a lot.
Yeah, but these players.
That means you literally can't.
I'm not discrediting how many games it is. It is a lot of games. I agree 100%. I've never done it before, so yeah, it's definitely a lot of games. But they've done this before, and it's not like the games were recently increased. Like it's been 82 games for quite some time, well over 20 years.
You're right. They
played 82 back then.
Before they were more
and
consistent.
As this argument goes on over and over, they played more intense,
rougher, but they didn't go out. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There wasn't that much 3-point shooting back like that. Now it was more, I'm gonna hit you with the mid range, the step back, fade away. I'm gonna go into the paint type shit. That's usually what the play style was.
Yeah.
Now, you can. I'm not saying it's easier to shoot a 3-point shot, but it's a lot easier to shoot a 3. Maybe unguarded, or maybe where someone's not going to expect for you to shoot 3, as opposed to you driving into the paint
and then doing a move,
to get the shot up. So that's why I think is the biggest difference. It's just 82 games. It's not. That's why I think it's not the 82 games
It's
rule.
just 65
I think,
out of 82. I think. Like,
I think what it is the training that's being put into play.
You can't afford to get injured at all. Like you can't like have
Really
a pinky
can't.
strain or nothing because
Really
there's I
can't.
think what is that 17 games difference? That's 17 games.
Yeah, and
You cannot be out for 17
We
games.
see how these teams go in streaks, man. I mean, you have a star player go out for fucking 5 games, and next thing
Exactly.
you know, another team in that same
Exactly.
conference is going on a 5-game winning streak, and we're looking at the team like, oh snap, look at them, they're turning it on. Could this be the team that actually wins? You know what I'm saying? Like they go through all of that. So I think when a player gets injured, it definitely hurts. But now in this era, when a player gets injured, it's like it's rough, especially.
They wrote it down in the rules.
I just think the type of injuries everyone's getting, these abdominal strains, these groin strains, this knee sprain, the ankles I get because, you know, most of it is because some of these players with the low top sneakers, like you're gonna get an ankle sprain.
Bro, prepare yourself. Pack a lunch because soon enough it'll be mental health. Soon enough it'll be like didn't feel well.
Yeah, I understand completely.
You know what I mean? Like
I understand completely. So
like, this is going to that direction.
So I think it's just we've allowed.
I don't know if the pendulum would swing again.
We've allowed so much of it, like there's so much excuses of what the injury is, and then you come to find out, oh, this person could have played. He really wasn't being injured. It was really because they didn't want to play him because it was this particular game. It's always some underlying thing going on. This 82 game is not a lot. Maybe you guys are running too much practice for these players, and which is why they're straining so much shit. Maybe we're not educating the players to stretch because let's be honest. Yeah, I get it. Athletes.
No, they're stretching more than ever. I don't know. I
Yeah,
hope they stop.
but you also got to figure
I think you're babying these people.
But there's also these athletes that are out here that maybe don't go through the same type of regime that maybe like LeBron James goes with his body. Like for example, Kevin Durant. We know he's not known for lifting weights, and he's never been really a weightlifter in the NBA ever.
The only way he lifted is a blunt.
My point exactly. So it's like a player like that. You know how you got to figure that's not his strength. That's not what he works on. But maybe his work ethic is maybe putting more hours into the court, getting his shot, which is why he's such a pure shooter.
Yeah.
Career-wise, over 55%.
Yeah.
So
he makes up for it on
there's
his
different elements, but it makes you wonder. Like now, have they implemented some type of training that these guys are doing that's causing these tears, these strains? Like, are they doing 3-a-days, 4-a-days type shit? Like, maybe that could be what's increased. So I don't think it's the 82 games I don't think it's that because we've had 82 games for years. I think it's maybe the training that's being done behind the scenes. Maybe that's stepped up more because now we can see what technology is advanced. So I can only imagine as an athlete in technology, how that's advanced. They probably put these dudes in a pod and like, all right, an hour.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
To me, it's like, why don't we refer back to the early 2000s when these people were being more aggressive and they weren't as injured. And I think what's happening now is people go to the nurse's office with the "I got a headache" excuse, and the physical therapist looks at it and it's like, all right, yeah, let's write it so you have to sit on the bench. And that's how it works. Like it's more like a player complains about something, and then that allows the physical therapist or the doctor to be like, let's make this overboard.
Before I forget, I think it's a number of things. I think the game now has become more technical and more money oriented, especially, don't even get me started with betting. But I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing so many of these, not feeling well type shit. I think it's one of those things where like now
Michael Jordan played with the flu.
We're not talking about Michael Jordan. We're in this era right now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't tell me your knee hurt.
I get that. I'm with you on that 100%. How you drop 40 one night and the next day because it's a back-to-back, we talking about you're not playing. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah, protecting your stats.
Like, we mean you're not playing.
You can't drop 41 the next day.
And I never, that's sidetrack. I never understood that. Like, back-to-back games, I get it. They've lessened them. But if you dropped and you were hot yesterday and you dropped 40 points, why would I sit you in a game the next day? I don't care who I'm playing. You just dropped 40 points.
You got to go out for the heat shot.
Like, I need you to go out next night and do either repeat the same thing or at least reciprocate that to other players on the team. But for you to sit out the whole entire game because we're on injury management, if that's the case, give them restricted minutes.
Yeah, we spoke about this before. It's just frustrating.
You know what I'm saying?
That shit is stupid.
Give them restricted minutes. But yeah, with the whole MVP, Rookie of the Year, with this 65 game rule, I don't think they need to bring it down to 82 game.
I like
bring
Cooper
it down.
Flag on that Rookie of the Year though.
Cooper Flag, Conkanipple from Charlotte Hornets as well. He's looking really nice as well.
I think Cooper Flag's gonna get that politically, obviously first round pick.
I don't think he's at the 65 game rule for that either. I know he's injured right now, which is why he's not partaking in the All-Star game coming up. But
I think I saw a lot of players just go out by the wayside. An injury. Hey, I'm injured.
yo, you know what's
A lot
crazy?
of replacements there, huh?
Yo, I'm so glad you tapped into that because that's exactly what I
Yeah.
want to talk about. It is crazy. The All-Star game is right around the corner, and all these big All-Stars that just got named an All-Star, and now coincidentally, oh, injury management, I can't play, and now we just got these other new All-Stars pop up. Now, I'm curious. I am very curious. Is it possible that players can just, they injured? Hopefully, if they are, they are. If they're not, and then next thing you know, we make way to add more All Stars because now they need a replacement. Because now you're named an All Star. You're not named an All Star replacement. You're an All Star. It's in your
I don't think-
Indeed, your
I don't
your
think
LinkedIn.
So did for instance, Steph Curry, does he still maintain his All-Star for the year? No, I don't think he does.
I'm pretty sure. I don't believe they take that away from you. Once you're named, you're named.
I guess so. This is a way to get two people to get double the credit.
Exactly. People were frustrated, and I don't know if this is going on, but this is what it looked like.
I guess
but
if
people
I'm
were
a
frustrated
player,
about Kawhi.
if I'm a player, I'm like, yo, if I don't gotta play, and y'all still gonna name me an All-Star, and that shit still gonna go on my resume, and I might still get paid, I'm not gonna play. And on the other side, I'm gonna give an opportunity for somebody else to play. Bring him in, wheel him
question-
in. I'll watch him from the stands.
Now, but if you start doing that now, what difference is it going to make between being named an All-Star and being an All-NBA? Here's why I say that. Hear me out hear me out. If you're named an All-Star, it's because you participated in the All-Star game.
Correct.
But now, if you're not participating in the All-Star game, then why be named an All-Star?
So that is the question.
What weight does that carry?
But I think that's the loophole that they found within the NBA, and they're playing
loophole.
They're playing that loophole, and until the NBA kind of fixes that or whatever they decide to do with that, they could continue to ride this wave like that. And I think we're going to continue to see that moving forward because what we used to see the replacements come ahead of time and it was some random guy or whatever, like our
the money.
like or the player would play hurt, but he wouldn't play to the level that we want to see him play at an All-Star game, or they didn't want to be there. So rather than having somebody not want to play, name him the All-Star that he's deserving of. But if he reneged on the offer and you have to select another person, then that's just another All-Star you selected, and give him the title. He earned it.
Yeah.
It's not secondary All-Star.
Yeah, it's not because obviously they were in the voting for it. They just didn't win out of the majority. That's all it is. So that's why it's like next man up mentality kind of deal. But it's just kind of funny because a couple of people were just named recent All-Stars because of all these injuries. Giannis obviously injured, so I think that's what brought in the Kawhi, if I'm not mistaken. And don't quote me on this. And then
Okay, because it's Team World, yep.
so there's just a lot of players that were supposed to be in the game that now aren't because of injury, and then now these other players that weren't named All-Stars but should have been considered are now being named All-Stars. It's kind of like the Trae Young effect, unfortunately. I hate to name it that, but we know what that is. He gets snubbed every time, and then somehow someone's injured, and he ends up being named an All-Star, which one could argue, was he really an All-Star all those years now? If he just happened to get it because someone else was,
He didn't.
injured.
I don't think he won it consecutively a lot of times. I think it was like one-offs.
Now,
like
this is not me taking a shot at Trae.
I
Trae
think it
Young's
was
an
every
All-Star.
once in a while that he won.
Trae Young's an All-Star. At the times that he was, like, maybe not now.
It wasn't like
an
back-to-back type stuff.
So that's the thing about, when you fill in someone as a substitute, not saying these guys that come in as substitute aren't arguably All-Stars, they are, but if it becomes a trend where these players
name
start
one
to
that
get
you don't think
injured,
is an All-Star. Name one that you may not think is an All-Star.
Ooh,
A substitute. Or name a random who took over Steph's spot. I think it wasn't a guard. It was a big man.
I'm gonna have to look it up, man, because they keep changing it around so much that I really couldn't keep up with it. The last one I saw was when Kawhi Leonard was recently added, and then I think there were a few like last minute that were also added, but I just don't remember specifically. So I'm gonna pull it all up right here. So 2006 NBA All-Star rosters: Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Anthony Edwards, Chet, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey. Got Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry injured, Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram injured, and it does state that Brandon Ingram was an injury replacement. So I think he might have been, yes, he was a replacement for Steph Curry, was Brandon Ingram.
Oh, so there you go. That's who came in.
LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, but De'Aaron Fox was also injured as well. So I think that's somehow
LeBron James is
Mate.
injured too. LeBron James didn't make the list, right?
No, he's on there. He's an all-star.
Oh wow, they gave it to him.
And they gave it to him before they gave it to Kawhi.
They gave it to him.
Yeah. So that was one of the big, debates that happened, like how they did that. And then we got Giannis, Denny Avdia from Portland, Luka Doncic, SGA, obviously injured. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, first time ever. Alperen Sengun, injured.
Nikola Jokic injured.
No, he's playing.
Oh shit. Okay.
He's playing right now, according to this, because he knows he's at that almost that limit for 60-game, 5-game rule. So
can't keep playing around.
if he starts missing games, he won't be able to get that MVP.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if he cares or not.
He
but
got like 3 days left
who
to
knows?
PTO.
It's one of them type shits. He about to be in the negatives
He's
for real.
trying to save that.
For real. Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama, and Norman Powell from the Miami Heat. So that's who's on it now. The only people that were replaced, Alperen Sengun, apparently he was injury replacement. De'Aaron Fox was injury replacement. Brandon Ingram was injury replacement. And Kawhi Leonard was injury replacement.
So I would argue De'Aaron Fox is not having an All-Star season.
I didn't think he was, honestly. I haven't heard much about De'Aaron Fox.
I'm sorry, not even to come off the bench.
Like, I hear more about Stephon Castle.
I would much rather the seat be empty. Like, I guess Steph Curry couldn't make it, but leave it empty. Like, do not bring me a non-All-Star over here and allow him to walk out of here thinking he's a black belt. Jiu-jitsu. No, bro. Anyways,
so yes, I don't have anything for most improved player just yet. That one, that's why I thought I tossed it up there because that's one that I haven't thought of because there's been so much change in the season. Like there's so many players that have been out. There's so many people that are role players that kind of stepped it up this year. Obviously I'm biased, so I've really been watching mainly a lot of the Knicks games. I've been watching a couple of Heat, Magic games as well, Warriors games too. But I haven't really seen a specific player that I can think of top of my head that comes up off as a most improved player. So I'm gonna leave that with a question mark right now.
yeah.
I'd love to see what you guys think about who you think is most improved player this year because it's a toss. There's a lot of players out there that have just stepped it up overall because of the absences of all these stars role players.
I'm curious to see how those Grizzlies boys are doing, man. Those guys that used to be at Grizzlies, like obviously Triple J is out with an injury, which honestly he was probably the
hottest
best
one right now, Dylan Brooks.
I know. I was gonna get into Dylan Brooks is probably the hottest, but you also got the kid in Orlando. I'm not too sure how much he's averaging and whether or not he's hurt or not, but if he's averaging in the 20s as well, that's career high for him. I don't think he's ever averaged 20 for the season. So, these guys one of them could come out to be most improved player of the season.
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't give it to one of those sophomores or something.
I could see it. I don't even know what's the
Rookie of the year though. Obviously, we spoke about Cooper Flag.
Mm-hmm.
There is a list there. You have VJ Edgecombe somewhere on the top 5, but
VJ's up there.
I think Cooper Flag is going to straddle that. Politically, he's going to get it because he was first pick. They got to make that proof of concept that first pick in the first round is this important.
For business, they have to advertise a guy that was highly drafted to be.
Unless somebody else outshines him. Because that's what it is. It's his belt to take.
Which is where Con Knipple kind of stepped in because a lot of people I don't think were expecting him to be this good of a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what's got him in the race because he's that player that you basically just described. Like, he didn't come out of the draft as, I correct me about this, but I don't believe he was a high pick in the draft like that. So I didn't expect him to be in the race for Rookie of the Year, especially averaging, I think he's at 20 points per game as a rookie when you have Cooper Flag at 21, 22, I believe it was. So it's a fair statement for a Rookie of the Year. I mean, to put up 20 points a game in your rookie year and you're not even the franchise player.
That's impressive stuff.
I gotta give it up to Con Knipple. That's what's up. That's lit.
That's some impressive stuff.
That's impressive. But last thing we did have here on the list, y'all, Jason Tatum looking like he's making a comeback. Recently reported that he's gonna be reporting with the G League team just for a 5-on-5. I don't know if he's playing the games or anything like that, but he's doing shoot around. He's doing the 5-on-5 practice. Videos been released about it because he's one of those players that releases videos on everything he does. So it looks like I don't know, Celtics fans. He might potentially try and have a little comeback this season. I mean, they are number 2 in the East right now
by a game.
Jaylen Brown is having a crazy, phenomenal year stat wise. They did just acquire Nikola Vucevic from off of the Chicago Bulls. They got rid of Anfernee Simons and sent him over there, and now they have They don't have anyone fighting at that guard position. Now it looks like you got the Peyton Pritchard and the Derek White at that 1-2 position, essentially. The 3 we know is Jaylen Brown, sometimes could be the 2. The 4 right now, forgive me, but I forgot who the 4 is. I think the 4 is the only thing they're lacking, which if you bring Jason Tatum back, that's the piece, obviously. I don't think he'd be starting, obviously. They're going to have to restrict minutes and stuff. Obviously, just tore his shit. And then after that, lastly, they pick up Nikola Vucevic, which is a great post player. He's going to be able to space the floor, not space the floor in a sense where he's shooting threes, but space the floor in a sense where he can shoot. He's not one of those big men that just only can go into the paint and dunk the ball.
Yeah, so he's a threat. He's a mid-range threat.
Yeah, he's a mid-range threat. He's kind of like in a sense like Kristaps Porzingis, but a little bit older. You know, he doesn't shoot the threes, but he's like that. He's kind of like the replacement of what they had.
Okay.
I like it. Good pickup. I liked him when he was on the Magic, so that's a good pickup for the Celtics. They needed him because now they have him, and then name is Keita, I believe his first name is. But Keita, he was, I think he's number 88 on the Celtics. He was previously their starting center. So now it'll be good having him come off the bench, kind of give him, not as much time on the floor. Maybe might help him a little bit, getting a little more scoring because defensively he was good. Offensively, not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, what type of impact would that make on this number 2 seed Celtics? I don't think it's going to change the ranker as much.
I don't think they win a chip.
Yeah, no, I think again it's just you're adding your player back. I think you're already in a deficit. As a franchise alone, I expect you to be top 5. Granted, your franchise player is out, but you still have Jaylen Brown, who's obviously, as you mentioned, having a career of a season. Yeah, I don't think that addition of a weak Jason Tatum is going to put...
Emphasis on weak, huh?
Yeah, because everyone's weak when you're coming off of an injury. You're not running full pace.
You gotta get back into the motion.
And even though you're practicing or playing with G League teams, you're still not in that official NBA game.
We all know low key they're probably like, damn, this is Jason Tatum. Like, let's.
Yeah, and then also like you could come in, again as a weak player, people could take advantage of that. That could mess up your confidence. That can mess up the season. Like, I think again, the most important part is not when Jason Tatum comes back, but that he comes back fully healthy. If they do anything before then, for the sake of winning, they're gonna mess that up.
I said it in the beginning of this podcast. I'm gonna say it again. Jason Tatum, just sit, take the rest, man. Not saying this as a hater or anything. I'm saying this generally as an athlete. There's really no need to make a rush. Yeah, your team's hot spot right now, but to come back this early, I don't think y'all primed to even win a chip.
They're doing it without you.
Yeah, they're doing it without you, but I say let them see how far they can go next season. Come back healthier than ever, be 200%, whatever the case you want to say. But even if he comes back, they're not winning a championship.
Yeah,
it's just they can't. I don't really think they could beat the Pistons. If I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that matchup as of, obviously with everybody fully healthy.
Not in the 7-game series. I don't think they can take the Pistons because the Pistons right now defensively are a nightmare.
The problem with that is, yes, you're right. It's just that
it'll be
the
a mismatch.
Celtics can be on and off. Like,
does Jaylen Brown guard Cade Cunningham? Because you're not putting Peyton Pritchard on Cade Cunningham, and you're maybe you can put Derek White, maybe because of the height.
You would potentially, you would possibly
have to put
Jaylen Brown, or you would put Jason Tatum on him.
Well, Jason Tatum's he's not there. He's irrelevant.
Being hurt, yeah.
So, you'd have to put Cade Cunningham, which would free up players like Jalen Duren. I know they just recently acquired, didn't they just acquire somebody in the Pistons?
Yeah, I know I ain't the only one struggling about the Detroit Pistons starting lineup. I know it, bro.
Yeah, their lineup is wild, dude.
We can't say it, bro.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
I can't tell you all of them.
I can't tell you what their starting lineup is from the top of my head.
Maybe they've been
but it's crazy
that
I think they've been switching it so much. But it's crazy that they've been doing that and that they're number one and they keep winning games.
That is a science to the game of basketball, though. I think Steve Kerr
follows that. You gotta keep on your toes. You gotta keep on your toes.
Steve Kerr follows that all the time.
Don't show them your whole entire playbook.
Especially when you have an ambidextrous type of team where your all-star player is Cade Cunningham, but he's also your facilitator. But he needs the ball all the time, and he needs to make the ball all the time. But he also needs to pass the ball. So it's much more unique. Where like in Golden State, facilitator you could say was Draymond, and then always made sure Steph found his opening somewhere. Even set the pick. So it was like not only was it an assist, but it was a screen.
Yep.
So you get double the impact off the player, and Detroit's making the best out of it. I don't think the Celtics can come in and be able to have a chance against
I agree.
Detroit Pistons right now, despite the fact that I don't know who the hell's playing there, and they're too far for me to even know. Anyways, y'all already know, man. It is what it is, dogs.
That is it. That is a wrap. Yo, we appreciate y'all for being here with us.
Again,
as
don't
always,
forget-
Court and Culture. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and also make sure y'all get y'all W.
Yes,
Make sure
sir.
y'all get y'all W. Make sure y'all put y'all promotion code in on your first order, 10% off, CNC10. That's CNC10. Promotion code is what you put in for 10% off in your first order.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate y'all.